Marla and I love our Peralta community, and our goal is to continue to create opportunities like these for us all to come together in different ways, for us to learn together, and to have a little fun.
And we'll be doing more things that are more community gathering as well. We hope you all join us for the awesome lunch, because we have great food from Laney Catering. We also have live Peruvian music, and we have 3 masseuses coming to do chair massage, quick sessions, but at least you'll get a little bit of relaxation time. It's a first come, first serve. So please, after the keynotes, if you could go down to the bistro and join us for our wonderful lunch gathering, and we can all talk together and hang out together in a more communal gathering way. Thank you so much. Quick reminder, we're not supposed to have food in the theater, so if we could all just make sure we follow that, would be great. And there's Inger Stark, if we can give her a hand.
Okay, and just a couple other highlights from our schedule today. We've got 2 amazing keynotes. One thing to note is that they will be on a different Zoom link for those of you joining us from Zoom. And the Chancellor's message will also be on another Zoom link, so be sure to check out the schedule. In the afternoon, we've got an array of workshops tailored for faculty, some for classified, some for admin, and many for all of us.
Okay, and now we would like to introduce our new PFT president, Jeff Sanceri. Jeff. Jeff himself is a product of California community colleges. He's been teaching U.S. history, Latin American history, and labor history for nearly 20 years. He's also been involved in unions and other forms of workplace justice for just as long. And his favorite color is green, in case you didn't know. So welcome, Jeff.
Thank you very much. Hey, thank you all very much. It was almost like I wrote that. That was terrific.
Funny that.
Just want to say hello. First, I want to say again, thank you to Chelsea and to Marla helping put this on, and all the people that helped put this on. Give them a hand. Clap for them. I'm Jeff. I'm the new PFT president. We also have a new exec. There's some of us in the audience. Let's see, we have Francis Howard as our VP. He's right there. Say what's up. Hey, I'm just going to rattle off a bunch of names. We got Rick Greenspan, Chief Negotiator and Treasurer. We got Campus Reps. Nope, no. I got like 3 minutes, guys. All right. We got Marla Leech, Terrence Green, Matthew Silverberg, Andrew Park, Rich Kaiser, Douglas Cobb is our diversity chair, Carl Seelback is our CE rep, and our 2 part-time reps are Susan Andrian. I think you see her right there. Oh, no, maybe not. And Mark Lispy. So give them a hand real quick. And, of course, I didn't forget about Shinowski, our past president who spent the last 6 years taking some major hits from the administration, but always got back up to make sure that our rights were protected. Give her a hand, and all of them again. All right, now I want to welcome all the faculty and classified siblings back, and say that one of the things I've always been proud of working at Peralta is that so many of our faculty and staff, feel that this is a community that we're a part of. Yes. Okay. And to the faculty, to the classified, to the grounds and buildings folks, our students here are here because of you. Our students stay here because of you. We work hard for our students and we sacrifice for our students because this is our community. And my point is that this isn't where you teach, this is where you mentor. This is where you facilitate. This is basically your community. This is where you live. And of course you know this already, but it seems like not everybody else does. Lately, and this is why I gotta say this, lately I've heard the board and district administration refer to us as employees. Not members of the community, or even constituents, but just employees, or even worse, special interest groups. See, when they call us special interest groups or refer to us as employees, I think they don't recognize that the students are here because of you. And when they call PFT a special interest group, they're talking about you, me, and all of us together. So, in my first public act as president, I hereby give the administration or the board the opportunity to take it back. Or apologize. And I'm going to keep offering this year until they do. And I'm looking forward to having a dialogue and talking with them about these very things and our future together. I've been proud of our past PFT president's work, and I'm proud of your work, all of your faculty and staff here. The 10% raise across the board that we will be signing off on today, that's because of you, together. And this year, our community is going to have to come together again, not just to have serious discussions about the upcoming board races, but also because our unity is what we need, because we're bargaining with an administration that it seems like they squander state and federal money. And this year, they already have signaled that they want to make up that money off the backs of faculty and staff. I think this year is going to be more important than ever to support one another, to have one another's backs, just like our community and like our union does. Because when Peralta is better, we're better. And when we're better, Peralta is even better than that. Now, if you're faculty and you want to hear more about this, we got the general membership meeting going on at 1 o'clock today in room F-170. We welcome both members and soon-to-be members. And also stop by the table, pick up a shirt or something, all right? Take it easy, everybody. Thanks. Do I get to keep this? I'm just going to sit down with this.
Okay, thank you, Jeff. Now I'd like to introduce Matt Goldstein, our new Academic Senate President. I'm sure all of you know Matthew. Matthew's worked in the district for over 20 years. He's worn many hats. He started his Peralta career as a full-time classified staffer and a part-time teacher. Some of his other roles after that have been full-time faculty, department co-chair, union rep, SLO coordinator, PFT president, president of COA Academic Senate. I mean, we could go on. And most recently elected president of the District Academic Senate after 4 years as VP under Donald Moore, who's also here. Oh, he's online. Who just concluded his 5th and final year in the DAS presidency. Thank you, Donald, as well. So please welcome Matt.
I'm going to try to set up the microphone stand here because I have to play with old-fashioned notes as I talk to you. So, Chelsea and Marla, I thought we had arranged in the tech rehearsal to have the American flag behind me so I could do my whole George C. Scott routine. I'm a little.
Could we get that up?
Yeah, please, if you wouldn't mind. The crew will bring me my helmet. Thanks very much. Me lean in, as Cheryl says. Thanks very much, and thanks, Marla, for setting me up here. So thanks to Marla and to Chelsea for today's event. Thanks to Inger, too, who's in the room. I know she's worked closely with the new SDOs, that's a set of initials I'm just getting used to ease the transition and to bring us today's excitement. Oh, thank you. As you've heard, I'm Matthew Goldstein, the new DAS president. I'm taking over from Dr. Donald Moore, who, as you heard in Marla's very generous introduction, which also sounded weirdly familiar to me, as Jeff's did to him. He's stepping down after 5 years in this role as DAS president, and I wanted to thank Donald again. So a round of applause for Dr. Moore, please. Yeah. And I'd just like to add that I've watched Donald closely as his VP over the last 5 years, and I really hope to show the same kind of patience and kindness as I assume this new leadership role that he's shown in his tenure as DAS president. So I'm, again, president of the DAS now. The DAS is the District Academic Senate, which is made up of representatives from the college senates. So we have 3 reps from each of the 4 colleges, and the trick at the District Academic Senate is to develop policy and procedure and advise the district on sort of district level concerns, but at the same time preserve the individual character of the colleges. As you know, we're all fiercely proud of the personalities of our local colleges, and the DAS in some ways runs parallel to PFT or the district office, and that it's trying to synthesize and keep in perspective the needs and interests of the local colleges, even as policy is developed to encompass the entire shebang. So that's the challenge that we face at the DAS. And again, we advise the district on professional and academic matters, and I want to underscore the professional and academic matters that the Academic Senate takes up, because that's what we're tasked with under the law. Historians of the community college system in California will remind us that the powers of the Academic Senate were invested in the Senates in 1988 under AB 1725. That's become kind of a magic phrase for those of us in Senate and faculty circles generally. And 1725 is what, again, empowered the Senates to become the primary advisory body on academic and professional matters. And that's what brings us to the celebrated 10+1, which are the responsibilities that are set out under 1725. And at this point in my address, I would like to hold up the little card that Dr. Carolyn Van Putten used to always hold up at this point in her address. She's one of my great predecessors in this role. And you might remember that KVP used to always reach into her pocket and at this point pull up the card that has the 10+1 printed on it. And I'm embarrassed to admit that I've collected dozens of those things over the last 20 plus years, and I couldn't find a single one in my house before coming in this morning. So I was tempted to bring my library card and just hold that up. But then I realized that folks in the hall wouldn't be able to see it. But of course, I'm on Zoom too. And I'm sure that Eleni Gastis and her crack team of reporters would have zoomed in on the frame and shown that I was holding up my OPL card, and then there'd be a headline in the Citizen, "New president, a fraud." So I'm not going to take that terrible risk. But let me say that among the 10+1, or the 11, as mathematicians would like to say, thank you. Thanks, David. That was for you. And Inger prompted me on this, but we are responsible for professional development. So with Inger as my prompter here, I believe we have 6 professional development days over the course of the school year. Is that correct? Yeah, so that's a joint PFT DAS effort, right? Because the Senates are responsible for professional development, and the money for professional development, of course, comes from the union contract. So look forward to 5 more days after this one. So a couple of practical matters. The DAS will begin meeting every first and third Tuesday at 2:30 in the boardroom starting September 19th. We have to wait till the local senates get up and running before the district senate gets up and running. We will be meeting in person, but there will be the possibility of participating remotely. The extent of that participation has to be ironed out still, but we will have some kind of ability to participate remotely. We are going to scrupulously follow the Brown Act as we understand it at this moment. And as we understand it, it requires an in-person quorum. So if you're an official member of the DAS, and I think we have a couple of spots yet to be determined, but if you're an official member of the DAS, please try to make it in person on the 19th. And of course, I'll prompt the entire Peralta community on that as the date approaches. Let me encourage folks to get involved in their local senates. I think our presidents are here. Dr. Leslie Blakey, I saw, she's waving over there. Matt Freeman. So folks who can continually confuse Matthew Freeman and Matthew Goldstein should continue to do that for the foreseeable future. But Matt Freeman is the president of Berkeley City College. I see the great Jennifer Fowler, president of College of Alameda's Academic Senate, and Tom Renbarger. Is Tom here from Merit? I don't believe, he may be online, but Tom Renbarger is the president of the Merit Senate. So folks, please get involved in your local senates. And I want to say too, it's really important that folks get involved in the union as well. And as you heard in my introduction, I've worn many hats over the years. So the hat I'm about to don as I conclude my remarks is my PFT ball cap. And I can tell you this, that the faculty is strongest when the faculty works together and when the main formal organizations that represent the faculty coordinate. So please get involved in both your union and the senates, of course, very important. One last note before I leave you today. I wanted to say that there is a PBIM summit on September 1st. I'm sure Chancellor Jackson will talk in detail about this in a few minutes, but my hope is that that summit, and that's the, help me on this one, it's the planning budget implementation integrated model. Thank you. And we do have a definitive glossary of terms somewhere on the website, right? That, yeah, he says hopefully. So the PBIM Summit is where I'm hoping, at any rate, we finally return to the matter of organizing our participatory governance structure. So I know it's been a source of frustration for faculty and for staff and for students and even administrators that we don't have a really firm grip on how the shared governance structure works and what the formal processes are for the shared governance structure. And that's created a lot of heartburn over the last several years. And there are good historical reasons for that. We've had considerable managerial turnover, et cetera. But it's my fond hope that we'll finally sit down and kind of get down to brass tacks and understand what a quorum is, whether proxy voting is allowed, what the roles of the tri-chairs are, how the overall structure of the PBIM intersects with other shared governance bodies, how the Brown Act works, et cetera, et cetera. So a number of us have a set of pretty detailed questions about how participatory governance ought to work, and what we need are concrete answers. So my hope again is that September 1st meeting that you'll hear about from Dr. Jackson in a few minutes will address these really concrete, practical concerns. So thanks very much. Thanks for having me. I'm really honored to serve in this role, and I look forward to working with you in the semesters ahead. And let's flex. Thanks.
All right. 1 minute to spare. Okay. Thank you, Jeff and Matt. And again, we want to welcome you all. Let's flex. I like that. We've got a full day of activities. We've got a wonderful in-person lunch at the bistro. If those of you on Zoom can come join us, please do. We've also got lots of activities on Zoom, in person, and high flex in the afternoon. And for those of you on Zoom, also don't forget to log off and go to the next link. Next up, we have our Chancellor, Dr. J, who will be sharing. And
We just hope you all have a hopeful, enriching, inspiring, and collegial afternoon, morning and afternoon. And we hope that all of you at lunchtime also, if you could take some time, engage with people that you don't normally engage with, like from all the different colleges, and get to know other people from all of the colleges, instead of us just hanging with our own people. Let's try to branch out and get to know each other, because this is our first time that we've been doing this, that we've done this on campus in 3 years. So please, we encourage let's build community. Thank you very much for being here, and we will now move over to the next session. Thank you very much.